Good morning. Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. This is Cinnamon Sugar. I am running errands. This is my second day off. So I'm enjoying that. I'm loving the fact that I can say I have 3 days off. Like it's crazy. And I get my whole check as long as everything's operational. Like, come on now, like they had us hustling backwards. It just is what it is. But y'all, I am at the car wash. I was over here the other day, but the way that it was going, as far as how the video was going, I was like, yeah, ain't no reason for me to even record. So I was just like, let me make sure. And I'm not at the usual location that I go to, because I'm not at work, because the one that's closest to my job to me is like, okay, might as well go to that one. But because my hours are different, there's no reason for me to really sit up here and try to go over there. Okay. So he's directing me. Anyway, y'all. So I went to my meeting this morning. Instead of it being 2 hours, it really could have been, in all actuality, less than 15 minutes. Now, when I was going in, I was informed that one of the three amigos had gone. He told me he had already been to one of the scheduled ones that you could basically go whenever it would be convenient for you. And the one that he went to, it was 45 minutes. He was like, oh, it ain't that bad. It was just 45 minutes. And this whole time I've been saying, like, why are they sitting up here talking about it's going to take forever like that when it shouldn't? Now, it is very important. It's a training or whatever, and we do need to be present for it. But to be honest about that, all I got to say is it literally is something that they can do while we're already on the clock in our departments for that day or whatever. At the meeting, like, I'm just saying, it literally is something we could actually discuss at our individual meetings instead of you wasting my time on my day off, because I was not finna sit up there 2 hours before or 2 hours after I got off work. If it really would have been 2 hours, I would have had a 14-hour check for that day on any given day that I decided to go in. And I'm just like, I just don't feel like it. I don't want to. I'm tired. Like, no. I shouldn't have even had to choose between times like that. Like, all the times they've had thus far have been very ignorant. And a lot of other people have been saying the same thing. They're like, well, what is even going on? I don't know. But anyway, forget all that. So, I'm glad that it's over with. But wait a minute. I got to tell y'all what I'm about to do. Now, I don't know how y'all going to feel about it. I don't know who's going to try to read me for it. It's okay. I understand if y'all want to read me for this. But I'm about to do something. I do want to know what y'all think about it and if y'all would do it y'all selves. But so I went to another city to get a drink. I really got two. But there is this place that used to be here that no longer is here. And so in order for you to get these drinks, you got to go. The closest one is like 45 minutes away from me. So my friend goes once a week, sometimes twice a week. This week we going twice a week because we're going to go again today, as long as everything goes according to plan. Because we went yesterday and got some stuff. And so while we were on our way to our final destination to get these drinks, they're non-alcoholic, by the way. So I don't want nobody to be like, well, dang, what kind of alcohol they putting in this for you to make you want to sit up there and be like, oh, let me drive, gas high. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I talk about how gas high. I ain't paying for the gas. And I done tried to get his help for money, and she was like, no. Like, and she has a gas guzzler. I thought my car was a gas guzzler when I had my Crown Vic. No, she got a truck. She got a truck. Like, it's a gas guzzler, and it's old, and it's over 200 and some thousand miles on it. Yeah, it's a gas guzzler. But anyway, so while we were talking, before we even linked up, to go for this, because it was up to her. She asked me, was I up for it? She was like, oh, do you want to go? Because I told her I was thinking about it, because last week she brought me a drink back because I was in the middle of doing my hair. And so since I was in the middle of doing my hair, I obviously couldn't go, because if I would have went, I would have been sitting up there right now just finishing my hair. Like, I will put off as long as I can doing my hair, y'all. I don't know what it is. When I get to doing my hair, if I don't keep with the pace that I'm going, that's stopping and going and leaving the house to go do stuff, it's going to be a wrap. I'm not going to be able to get nothing done. So, you know, unfortunately, I couldn't go. So she ended up getting her ex-husband and her son and grandson to go with her. And they did what they normally do as a family when they go, which is they'll get the drinks. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry, I gotta say this because I need to know what it's hitting for. You fine. You fine, sir. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I gotta say this. All right, y'all. So look, listen here. So the side heifer, and I'm finally gonna tell y'all what kind of vehicle that she has, you know, procured or whatever. So I told y'all for the longest the heifer would sit up there, wouldn't get another vehicle, and I'm like, girl, there's no reason for you to be driving that. She had I'm talking about a gas guzzler. You live an hour and something away, one way. What is the reason? And I was just like, all the hours she was pulling, I'm like, ain't no reason for you to have this big old gas guzzling vehicle. You can have a normal sized vehicle if you gotta have something big, as small as you are. Like, I know some people, like, I mean, typically that's the way you see it. Somebody small as I don't know what, got the biggest vehicle they can find. And it's like, for what? But anyway, it just wasn't no reason for it, y'all. Like, it makes no sense financially. Even though you have one child, if it's just the two of y'all in the truck, it just didn't make no sense for her to have that vehicle. So she finally upgraded. Y'all, I don't know what it is, but in this city, I don't know about any of the neighboring cities, but in this city, Chrysler 300s have a chokehold on these people. I don't understand. When I tell you, every time I turn around, everybody and their mama got a Chrysler 300. I need to understand what the chokehold is. Why is there a chokehold over this vehicle? When it first came out ever in life, I understood. It was interesting. It was interesting looking or whatever. And it was like, oh, wow. It's a lower level version of a Phantom, Rolls Royce, and things like that. Okay. Like, a regular person like me, a regular working person like me, we can afford that. Alrighty. Cool. But I tell y'all, if they ain't got that, they got a Charger. And I know the Chargers are everywhere because my cousin got one, but he a gangster, and child, he got that and other vehicles. He got the other gangster vehicles and child things that are considered gangster vehicles. Can you go? Like, what is going on? So y'all, I just be looking like, somebody please, wait a minute, am I going the right way? Yeah, I'm going the right. No. Yes, I am. I'm over here forgetting where I'm going because I worked my way backwards, and y'all, I did everything out of order, but there's a method to my madness today. So I'm on my way to the post office. I have 2 packages, one of which should have been delivered to me. Look, listen, I just spoke it up. Is this the heifer right here? What time is it? No, it looked like her. It might be her. She might have been. It actually might be her, y'all. I'm finna be behind this raggedy heifer. I just spoke this heifer up. In the Chrysler, wait a minute, is this her? Yeah, this is her. In the Chrysler 300, child. I can't. That ain't no ugly vehicle, but I just be like, child, I need to know the chokehold. Why is it a chokehold on these people in this city? I tell you, it's like, I kid you not, right hand to God, there is at least 5 people on my shift alone that has it. Then there's people on the other shifts that got it. I don't even know how many, including on the other shifts. Well, I'm like, golly, what is going on in y'all's lives? But anyway, but yeah, this dude who just passed by a second ago, he had a cute black one. I ain't gonna lie, somebody had a candy red one yesterday. I had never seen. That was clean. I'm like, now if I'm gonna get it, it's gonna look good like that. I'm talking about top to bottom was everything. Why are you going so slow? Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. Because I kept trying to figure out why am I feeling this way. This person going slow as I don't know what. Get out of here. You ain't even going the speed limit. Like, you going 10, 15 miles below the speed limit for what? It ain't raining. need to go somewhere and slow down, y'all don't. I'm sorry, y'all. Then they done did all that in my way. Then they finally done got over and went somewhere else. Please get on somewhere. My bad. Sorry. So anyway, so now that I done got that out of my system, because at first I was just like, I'm not going to say it. But I'm just like, listen, y'all, when the heifer first got the car right, when I tell you every second that she could get out the door to walk off from her responsibility, she was outside at the car. I'm like, girl, unless you living in that mug, ain't no reason for all this foolishness. Like, girl, yes, my vehicle is still, considered new too, but I'm not finna do all that. Now, when I want to get away from y'all, because I don't want nobody to walk up on me while I'm going to my break, sure, I'll go out to my car. But I ain't obsessed like, let me go out here and try to floss because I got this vehicle. Like, girl, when I tell y'all she was doing the most, you would have thought that heifer had a ghost or a phantom. Heifer, you ain't even got a ghost. Please stop it. Please stop the madness. Stop the madness. The only thing that is saving everybody around her from having to deal with the ugliness that she exudes on the inside and on the outside. Like, this heifer is truly ugly. Like, literally ugly. Ooh, I wish I could throw her picture up here. But anyway, it's the fact that she got tinted windows. I said, yes, Lord, for the rest of our days. Yes. Thank you. You did us all a favor. Because she really is ugly, y'all. When I tell y'all, there have been people who ain't never known her a day in life, came up in there, started working. Yes. Yes. Every single one of y'all for no reason. I know y'all saw them in the background. Y'all, I'm sorry. But let me stop. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm in heat. Let me stop being ignorant. I don't know. I do have issues as it pertains to that. I might get to that in a minute if I remember. To touch on something briefly as far as that is concerned. But anyway, y'all. But I just can't. Like, you would think this heifer is driving a Rolls Royce. I'd be like, girl, please stop. Please. And when I tell y'all this heifer was parking up front, I was like, girl, you don't never park up front. Now you want to park up front. Please stop. Please stop it. But anyway, y'all, look, listen. This is I guess to me, this is going to be a good segue into what I'm about to tell y'all. And this is going to be funny too. At least to me, it's funny because I was dying when it first came about. So, like I was just telling y'all, child, it's the Chrysler 300s that keep on. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't. Every time I turn around, Chrysler 300, Jesus, please stop it. Please stop the madness at some point. What is going on? I don't know if y'all be able to see it when I park, but yeah, it's a Chrysler 300. Is that it? No, that ain't it. Hold on, what am I doing? No, y'all can't see it in that. But I'm gonna finish this before I go in there because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be standing and waiting and child. I'm gonna get to that too if I think about it. But anyway, y'all, so I'm over here minding my business. So before me and my friend end up leaving out to go get drinks, because I didn't even know she was gonna go, she was like, well, I'll let you know, I'm gonna lay down, try to give me a nap and da-da-da-da. Like, she's older and she really believe in naps. And I do too. I'm just saying. So anyway, she ended up getting on the phone with me while we talking. I don't know how it came about, but this heifer said something that led to her asking me, you want to go? Guess what she asked me, did I want to go? Asked me, did I want to go to the trial for the not so divorced man, which is coming up in a couple of days. And I said, well, I don't remember what day it was on, but I said it might be right on the day that I got to go back to work. And even though it's like at 9 in the morning, I'm trying to get my sleep. I don't care like that. Like, girl, I don't think we're going to be off. Now, like I told y'all before, her schedule is completely opposite of mine, but it's still like the same hours, the same days, and she just get off 12 hours before I do when she get off for her last shift of the week. So I was like, heifer, I don't know. So I thought about it. I mean, she had me when she said it, I said, what? She was like, oh, we can go. You want to go to the trial? I was like, girl, what you mean? So I thought about it. I said, you know what? I might actually be down for that. Like, just pop up, don't say nothing, just be in the courtroom. Just be in the courtroom when it get there. Surprise! Then this heifer get to talking even more. Talking about some, yeah, the wife might be there. I was like, girl, y'all don't understand. I was hysterically laughing. I just could not. Like, I didn't even think nothing of this. So I keep telling this heifer, I'm like, all this is hilarious. I am down to go. But I don't know if this is going to be a situation that I'll be able to be a part of because I got to go to work. And I don't know if it's on the day that I go back to work or not because it's so close. Child, when we get in the truck, we talking and all this other stuff. And so she bring it up again. And so I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. Let me see if I still got screenshots of the court dates and all this other stuff. I said, I think it's on these dates, whatever, but I really think it's on the day that we work. It's going to be a miracle if I'm wrong because I don't remember. Like, I really wasn't laser focused on the date like that to try to remember and have it embedded in my mind. Child, tell me why I zoomed in on the court date, and unless they changed it, it's on the day when I'm off. So me and that heifer go sit up in the courtroom. Y'all, we gonna go sit in the courtroom. And so she was like, girl, they might haul him off that day. I was like, girl, and see, this is the second time that they've gotten him for this. This ain't the first offense, because he got off before. I don't think he really pulled no time like that for that. But this is his second time driving under the influence. And I told y'all, that night when he was supposed to meet up with me, we was talking all day. All of a sudden, the text message just stopped him because he was out riding around and getting it drunk, and they arrested him. Never to this day, still ain't said nothing to me as to why he ain't never link up with me. Never said a word, never said I'm sorry, never said nothing. All of a sudden said happy birthday to me when my birthday came around. The day after that was trying to get some box. Sir, if you don't get out of here, I don't have nothing to say to you. You definitely ain't getting no box. You wouldn't be able to handle me. You wouldn't be able to handle me anyway. Whether you were single, married, engaged, divorced, or shacking. For those of y'all who know. But anyway, somebody gonna pick up what I'm putting down. But anyway, so, yeah, the plan is we gonna get there about an hour before, hour and a half before, whatever, so we can get parking. She has handicap parking and things, and she know where it is, so we gonna go. We gonna sit up in there. I'm gonna try to remember to check and make sure that, you know, what's out online is still accurate. So, you know, to me, in my mind, I feel like if they haven't changed it online, that means that nobody had been, you know, nobody sent out any correspondence to him to say, hey, we had to push it back, some things were going on, whatever. I don't know if they're gonna continue it again or whatever, but yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go to the courthouse and sit up in there. She told me, she said, you better than me, because if you had to did what he did to me, I would have did, as you like to say, the most. So y'all know I be talking about somebody doing the most, and so she ain't used to these phrases, and so that's why she said that like that. So she was like, when everything first came out and I found out that he was doing all this stuff, I would have popped up on him. Oh, I got to tell y'all what else happened. Wait a minute. So that's the big thing that's going to happen. So I'll tell y'all what happened after that once the date actually happens. And so, you know, I should be able to, before the end of that day, get on here and tell y'all what happened, because ain't no telling if the wife going to be there with the son. Ain't no telling what it's going to be. He might already be sitting in the courtroom when we get there, because he believes in being early. That's one thing about him that I will give him his due on. He believes in being early. He don't never be late. That's the one thing he don't be is late. So the fact that he didn't reach out to me, I was like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, I kind of started to think maybe his son was sick. I don't know. That's what I thought it might have been. I thought his son might have gotten sick again when he didn't show up for me. Child. So we heading to the spot to go get the drinks. If he and I would have became a thing from time to time, if I was traveling or he was bringing me to his place for us to spend time at his place, because you ain't finna just be at my house and that's it. No, we gonna go between the two. So if it had been a situation where I was going up there and he was bringing me there, whether I was driving or he was bringing me, the place that we were getting the drinks, that's the closest location, is where he lives, or where I should say was living. Now, I don't know how many of y'all remember a good little while back when I was telling y'all about him, that he said that he had a trailer. I am not gonna never try to knock nobody because they live in a trailer park, none of that. But the common misconception is, if you live in a trailer or if you live in a trailer park, you are considered to be trailer park trash, lesser than, you are automatically looked down upon. My uncle, who is deceased, that a lot of people knew that live in Montgomery, Alabama, who are very familiar, if y'all are familiar with the Macedonia community, he was the person that was over the community center. And, you know, they call him Sonny, but his name was Joseph. But he passed away in 2010, and he was making bank. Even though he had already had his degree from ASU and in athletics and all that stuff or whatever, like, that man, he didn't have to do that much in order to do what he was going to do. But he lived in a trailer. Now, keep in mind, his whole life he had lived in the house that our grandmama, well, my grandmama, you know, raised them in before their father passed away. My mama is the only one who has a different father out of all of her siblings. My mama's the youngest. So anyway, before all of that stuff happened or whatever, the house they were living in, the house was still standing. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. All of that or whatever, right? Well, the house sat for forever. Nobody was living in it. I think that it has gotten bulldozed down. When I tell y'all, it's either still there or, y'all, I don't know why my mind is slipping my mind. I think it's because I got really upset because my aunt sat up there and actually tore down my maternal grandmother's house that there was literally nothing wrong with, that they grew up in. Like, it made no sense. We were having family functions there. They had renovations that, you know, would stand the test of time that had been done and all of that. Like, it was an amazing place to stay still before they tore it down. Like, it's a whole situation behind it. I think I told y'all about it before in the video. I don't even want to get upset about it, so I ain't even finna rehash it because it's still a sore spot for me. There was no reason for that house to be torn down. But my uncle, he had purchased a trailer and he had it set up right behind my grandmama's house. So we would just go down the road where, if you're familiar with the Macedonia community, I don't know if any of y'all know Jimmy Lee. She lived diagonally across the street from my grandmama's house. And so people were coming in there, and once you go past the church and keep straight, and then you turn to the left and go down that street, on the left was where my grandmama's house is, and Jimmy Lee's house is across the street. I forgot the name of that particular street. But yeah, so anyway, all you had to do was turn down another street that was, I mean, it's not even a street, it's a road off of the street that you pass by my grandmama's house, and then you end up at my uncle's house. But we had other relatives that lived on the land too. So, a lot of them have passed on now. But yeah, we had land, we had no issues with nobody. Everybody lived. And my uncle, again, if you are familiar with Macedonia community, outside of that job, his real job, he had a little store that was back there as well in a building. And so he sold all types of candy, cookies, pies, pickles, drinks, all the snacks. He was like the male version of a candy lady or whatever. But he had a like building, and he had a pool table in there. People would come in there and drink alcoholic beverages, all of that stuff. He had all of it. Ooh, that man fine. He had the TV in there, so if you wanted to watch different, games and stuff, you could set up shop in there and do that in the community without having to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and all the other stuff, leave the actual center. Like, if you want to, you can walk. Like, I used to walk around the entirety of that neighborhood. and didn't feel no fear. Even though there are some people, there's some characters up in there, but I ain't had no fear. Like, I didn't care. And my folks, they didn't, they weren't fearful of anything happening to me. But I'm just saying, all that stuff was there. So, I'm sorry. I said all that to say that my uncle had a trailer, and for him to have had as much money as he had coming in on the regular, I ain't never looked down on nobody that was living in no trailer. Even old boy had a nice trailer. And I'm saying had because, like I told y'all before, somebody at work asked him, like, where you be coming from or where you be going, because I just all of a sudden, see the person just left and passed by that got the Chrysler 300. Oh, the fine man, that's who it was, who had the car. I should have known it was his. So anyway, but it was just a situation where I was just like, okay, what is really going on with all of this? Please, y'all just be all up on people's vehicles. Can you get from near me, like, all this street? So, so old boy apparently did move because we stopped by the trailer park. In that particular area, there are only 2 possible places that you could be living. This big part, that's the trailer park, and this really, really, really small one that's kind of like across the street, but diagonally across the street. We went to the big one first because I told her I've seen where he lived as far as when he was doing FaceTime and all that stuff, the video messaging with me, and there were other people there. And he's actually shown me, like, with the camera on his phone while we were on, the thing, and he would show me around, show outside, show me his son, that he was, watching his son as he was playing with his little toys and stuff out there. So I was like, nah, I don't think he's at the small one. If he actually still lives here, he lived at the, like, actual trailer park. Child, we done went up in there. She had never been up in there before. We ended up going into this one wrong part, and then she turned around, and then we went down the main way we were supposed to go. So I'm looking, and I told her, I was like, I said, this is not a day that he would normally work, but because he might be going in, and because he loved money, and, whatever, if he's able to get time, somebody just quit. So he's probably going to be able to get time because that was one of her normal days to work. And so he might have been at work during that time. But I knew what all of his other vehicles looked like. All I know is that the wife had some sort of a van. He had an SUV, but I told her when he pulled up on me randomly in the new SUV a while back, when I was at home getting out my car, I was like, what are you doing with this? I'm talking about this is before I got my new car. So he was like, I asked him, I was like, when I'm gonna get a chance to ride? He was like, whenever you available. Sir, you couldn't wait till the car stopped. Child, this man, my eyes got diverted immediately because somebody is in a van driving, and somebody was in the passenger side, the door wide open, their leg out, and they over here trying to get out before it even stopped. And I'm talking about, it was a good little distance before, and he over here extending his leg and some more. Now, when you die or break your leg or tear your foot up, then it's gonna be a problem. These people be doing so much ignorant stuff around here, my bad. So anyway, so we done went all up and through there, and I'm looking because I know what vehicles to look for. I know what that looked like. And I said, if he's not there, and he had another vehicle. He had a Charger as well, but I didn't remember if he had sold it or not. So I think he was gonna sell the Charger. He had another vehicle that he lived for. So he said, oh, well, I drove that a couple of times to work, but it's not good on gas, so da-da-da-da. I think he turned that vehicle back in because it was a hefty note that he was going to have to pay. And so, like, he already used to talk about, and would brag. Y'all, this man used to brag about his trailer. Talking about, I'm just so happy that I have this trailer. It's in my name. I own this. Basically, I ain't got but a couple of more payments until I'm all the way done. He would double and triple up on the payments because we get paid weekly, y'all. So he would double and triple up on the payments, setting it off. And he was really proud of it. Now, and right to this day right now, he still has pictures up there on social media of the vehicles that I'm referring to. The one he drives to work currently, and the one that he was going to sell that I think he had sold. The Charger. The other vehicle, he hadn't taken a picture of that, and I think it's because he didn't keep it. But anyway, but it's all in front of the trailer. He had one of the newest trailers out there. So when we went down there, I was like, all of this is looking familiar, and I don't know why in the moment, I didn't think nothing of it, because I would have been able to spot his deck because of some of the stuff that was on the deck and all this other stuff. Child, I had completely forgot about that until this morning. So I ended up texting my friend. I said, girl, let me send you some pictures. I'm so crazy, I forgot. Or it was yesterday after we'd already gotten back. And she forgot something too, because she was trying to show me something else. We was all the way in a whole other city, and she was trying to show me something, and she couldn't, like, I told this heifer, I said, the Lord did not want us to go over there. That's the reason why you could not figure out that street to save your life. Something was going on that day, and had we gone over there, something would have popped off. That's why. When I tell you, it was a mess. So anyway, so it must be true that he has moved to some house or somewhere, another trailer or somewhere in a whole nother direction with the wife and the kids, child, whatever. And so I'm just like, oh, because I started putting two and two together. So I was like, oh, so since we did this, we canvassed the neighborhood. And I didn't see nothing. And I told her, I said, I know what I'm looking for. Like, none of this is nothing. I know what the son's toys look like, all of that. And I know what the deck looked like. And even though his trailer is new like some of these and they look exactly the same, I know what I'm looking for. Like, I would see something. And at this time, there were children outside playing. His son he talking about, man, my son loved to play. His son, anytime the sun out, he want to be out there all day. Probably would have been out there with the mama or with him if he was at the house. But I didn't see it. And it was because he must have really moved somewhere else. So yeah, we didn't get a chance to pull up and, look around and be like, oh yeah, there he is. And if he just so happened to be outside and trying to figure out what we doing out there, she was like, oh, we had a friend in the area, and you said you were single, so what's up? Because he rolled up on her. She's the same person that he rolled up on at work and was like, hey, how you doing? I like what I see. I want to see more of you. I'm married, but I'm getting divorced. And that's why I was looking like, girl, what you mean he talking about he's married but getting divorced? This man told me he was divorced 6+ months ago. What is we talking about? And I hadn't told when I tell you I didn't tell nobody, did nobody in my job know nothing about this situation. She's the only one at my job that even know about this situation now. Because I kept debating within myself if I would even tell her about him, because I was so scared that it was going to get out, even though ain't nothing going on. Because I ain't want to sit up here and look like a fool. But essentially, I mean, it just is what it is. So, I said, you know what, I'm going to trust it. Hopefully she ain't going to try me. Hopefully ain't going to be no foolishness. Let me see what it's hidden for. Ended up doing it. And I just was like, can you please just keep this between the two of us? Because there's already people out here who, from the day this man started talking to me and we found out that we have connections, meaning I know his cousins, was working with his cousins. I'm like basically best friends with one of his cousin's girlfriends that he gonna marry. You know what I'm saying? I know about the functions. Everything this man told me about, I could verify. And then there were times I asked my friend certain things, and she was like, yeah, he did say that. Yeah, he was there. And it's like, why would she lie for him? I'm her friend. When everything happened with my ex, she was the first one like, girl, I keep seeing him everywhere. I wanted to run him over. I was about to run him over, but I had to stop myself. Like, I was like, heifer, don't do nothing. Like, everybody been wanting to set it off. So, like, I already know she go up for me, so why would she sit up there and take his side because she's dating somebody else? She don't play that. She believe in right is right and wrong is wrong, because I would do the same for her. Because if I saw her man out there doing something or whatever, I'm going to be like, girl, and I'm going to do the same thing. So, anyway, y'all, it's some foolishness. It's some straight foolishness, and I ain't got time for it. But let me gather my things. I will let y'all know how this trial situation go, because I'm gonna go sit up in there, because I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna go sit up in there. But yeah, after it's over with, child, I'm gonna come on here before I go back to work. Even if it's the day I go to work, since I go in that afternoon, I do it no later than that morning and have it uploaded before I get to work. Trust and believe. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, I just got my hair pulled back. up off me and all that. Because in my car, I ain't got no room. That's why I wanted my SUV. I've been tired of having to restrict my hairstyles. Y'all don't understand. Like, a lot of people don't understand. When it comes to me, I think of everything. When it comes to hairstyles, I think of everything. I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna be able to do this bun. Because I like, y'all saw that video I put up a long time. Well, those of y'all who been here. I did that bun video, child. I almost tore it off my head trying to get to work that day. But it was a big old bun when my hair was long. When I used to grow my hair out long and it was relaxed and all that stuff. My hair will be long again, but it's not gonna be relaxed. But I can't wear big buns unless they like kick to the back or the middle or to the side. And not, like, it's like all kinds of hairstyles that I normally would want to pull up here. I can't do that. I gotta keep it low in order for it to make sense. But anyway, I'm finna go in here and they better have my packages. One of my packages is the wallet that I didn't even know existed because it wasn't on the site when I bought my purse because I wanted it and I searched for it the day that I bought my dang purse. But they re-released it because of Pride Month. And so I was like, oh, let me get one now. And then it was discounted and then I ended up getting another discount on top of that. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm finna get this for less than $100. I literally have 3 wallets now, just in correspondence for that particular purse. My white one with the colorful rainbow C's on the child. But anyway, let me go ahead and see if they got that because that's the one that didn't arrive and I ain't got time for it. They better run me my money back for that. And I got another package of some clothes I gotta get. But anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later. Bye.